Hi, and welcome to another one. In this video, I'm going to be talking about this clip that I didn't really watch the whole thing, but it says, does the show Batters, did he spell that right, or is it Baddies? Or because it reminded me of the show Baddies UK have a detrimental effect on the image of Black women in the UK. We need to change the title to Black Women Around the World, but I guess not all people watch that in other areas. Okay. And this is on another person's platform. Don't know these people. Definitely don't agree with anything because I already could tell it's some BS that's going on here. You're not even supposed to be wearing. It's just ironic. These people like live for Satan, and then they wear these crosses that you're not even supposed to be wearing. God said we're not supposed to be putting out images of God or anything like that or in the heavens above and using it as some type of, and they use it as some type of fashion statement. I'm going to go ahead and play the video. It's a really long video. Well, it's not that long, but I'm not about to play the whole thing. I'm assuming the show Baddies in general, like I don't watch the show. I've seen it as Ratchet TV when I went to work in Kentucky. There was this girl there that was watching it. It's just complete trash, garbage. It is just an excuse to advertise the BS, to put, and it really puts things into perspective about people's intelligence level and about people. Somebody had brought up how, I can't really say the term on these platforms, but basically let's say the sword, okay, the sword, the one that they slice people's arms with, has injected that has changed the DNA of a lot of people, which I totally agree. It's very much so spiritual. They even had a situation where they tested the blood of those that just passed away and corpses, and there were little tiny lights inside their blood, okay? And they pointed that out as the microorganisms, okay? How can I say this? The bioengineered microorganisms, if you catch my drift, in the blood, still doing whatever it's doing in blood, okay? That's why I do not recommend any of that stuff, but I'm going to go ahead. I highly do not recommend any of the stuff. You can only say but so much on these platforms. But I'm going to go ahead and play a video and skip in between. But on this channel, we talk about difficult topics, tough conversations, things that people aren't really talking about from a biblical truth perspective. If that sounds like something you're interested in, stick around, subscribe, like, comment, and let's talk.
Hi.
Would you like to
Hi,
introduce
guys.
yourselves? Starting from Mika, do you want to introduce yourself?
So my name is Mika, also known as My Mix on TikTok and Instagram.
Gonna go ahead and speed it up.
Hi, my
Fair
name is
use.
V. I prefer V, but you can call me Violet.
It's gonna be Boozerboy BX. You know what time it is now.
Hi, I'm Sharon, and I'm just Sharon on Instagram.
And I'm Jane, but every good company can that's me on every platform, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Yeah, Jay is Vicky. Hi, everyone.
Hi, welcome. So our first question is, do you think the show UK Baddies is detrimental to culture and female degeneracy?
Yes.
In what way?
Yes. I feel like as if it's depicting a really negative image of Black women online. So it's really focusing in on probably like it's just showing an aggressive side to Black women and profiting off that. I don't personally agree with that being a form of entertainment. So that's just me.
A form of entertainment. So you do not agree that showing women who are catty and argumentative is show business. I mean, for me, at the end of the day, it's show business. Because you guys are doing it, you're still watching it.
Yeah.
You know, if you like, whether you like it or not, people love drama.
Wow. Okay. So we're already in the interview, and we have, of course, the Black woman defending the ratchetness. And then you have a non-Black woman who looks like she's Latina. I don't know. She's saying the obvious thing, like, yes, it is depicting Black women in a certain light because of whatever the case is. And it's crazy how she's saying herself, girl, whatever. Okay, it's show business. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why it's like I can't feel sorry for certain Black women, because it's like you're getting the facts now. Like before, we could have said, they didn't know or whatever, but now you're knowing and it's being put out there and they don't want to change. Okay. They just want bread. They just want money. They just want notoriety. They just want fame. Not all Black women. If it's not you, it's not you. But I mean, and it's she's a typical, stereotypical, actually, Black woman. She got the neck tattoo. She got the lace wig that I could see the screen porch from all the way over here. She got the nail extensions. She's got the provocative shirt that's tasteless. That's not even fitting her properly. And then of course the piece that's not even supposed to. You're not even supposed to do that. Like these people, like it's like they don't live for God, but they want to use it as a fashion statement or something. And on top of that, it says that we're not supposed to even create those type of images. Those images are not supposed to be created like that in that type of way. Got the super long lashes, makeup, and all that. So
to watch drama, and I feel like yes, there might be improvements. Like if I was to do the show, there's certain things I would do different,
Right.
Like I would get the girls together and make sure showcase their talents and showcase what they're good at, not just the drama side. Because if you're going to do a bunch of girls in a villa,
Right.
of course.
And then she said something that was just interesting just now. She said, at the end of the day, it's show business and people like to watch entertainment. So if people like to watch, just like how pedos, okay, that's just how do I say this? Just like how people that there are men and women out there who enjoy watching youth in inappropriate ways, right? Then there's a huge market for that, unfortunately, tragically. So since that is what you're saying, oh, people just love entertainment. So if people love to see that, that means that you would indulge in that, right? Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's like these people will say things and then they'll say, oh, well, that's wrong. That's too far. No, there's no boundaries on sin. Once you open up Pandora's box, the people that fail to understand, there's no limits. So by you saying, oh, I condone, like, this is just entertainment. Okay, so what if entertainment was people enjoy watching people getting tortured? Okay, what about that? People enjoyed, you had the gladiator era where gladiators will go in there. Those are people, but they were getting, unalived in front of the crowd, and people would go wild. So you would be one of those people that just go along with something just because the masses want it, which shows what type of people that you are dealing with. And they rationalize these things, but they don't look at stuff from an eagle's eye view, an eagle's eye perspective, which is something that you gain from the Most High.
There's no way you're not going to have drama, because you know how women are. Women are very catty, and women are very like, it becomes a competition, and stuff like that. So I think, but to me personally, I don't really see anything bad in it, because at the end of the day, it's show business, and you need to understand show business. You need to understand entertainment. You need to understand environment.
What, at the detriment of Black women?
Thank you.
At the detriment of Black women?
I mean,
I feel like because I just feel the people selected for like the Black women selected the show. I feel like previously they already have their own like what they're known for, what they do, like their personalities already out there. They're already wild. They're crazy. They say what they want to say. They do what they want to do. So like you said, I just feel like those showbiz, they know what they want to say.
Look at how the other Black women, they ain't say nothing yet, but look at how another Black woman comes in and is ready to defend this show business claim. Like I said, if that's the case, if they say, all right, y'all about to sleep with these youths, they'll say that's, oh, you're being dramatic or you're being over the top. There is literally an organization, NABLA, okay? I'll put it on the screen because you have to be careful how you say things. They exist. So for people to say that things are too extreme is a lie. There was once a point in time when people that were transformers, you have to be careful what you're saying too. Transformers weren't a thing where people would look down on that. Now there's people you have to be careful how you saying stuff. So the people are very, very, they have a veil over their eyes. Something's going on DNA wise, or their DNA is getting altered, and they're falling away from the Most High. Okay, everything is spiritual. If you are trying to build family that is coming closer to the Most High, and you are trying to to leave a great legacy for your youth, you might want to check out my book, Melanie Didn't Expecting. It has a bunch of information God showed me, things that if I had known, if I had listened to, I would have not dealt with certain consequences that I'm dealing with today. Could have been worse, though. He definitely did protect and bless me, but now I'm here. I went through it, and you can learn from it. So if you do feel edified from the content and you want to show your support while adding to your arsenal of knowledge for your lineage, you can go ahead and check out the description. Back to the video.
Attract from people. So it's like, yeah, they know what they're doing, but they could also.
I mean, she calls it a retreat or something.
A retreat. Okay, but what are they?
I don't think anyone on there is qualified to be helping Black women that have issues.
That's true.
So maybe the show, they called it a retreat or something like that. Not sure. Let me look up Baddies UK. Baddies UK. Don't know what season these women are from. Batters. That's how they really called it, Batters. So this is the Batters UK. Okay, and it's $5.99 a month. I wonder if that was a woman that was on there. This is just straight sex. This is not no thought going into this, no helping, quote unquote, helping youths and stuff. I want to see if I see any of the women. You can't really tell, because I noticed with like makeup and stuff like that, it's like difficult to tell. They all kind of look alike. They all kind of look alike in ways. This is scary. Like, I'm not trying to be mean. It's just the straight facts. Like, somebody, like, if I wish somebody had told me that back when I used to wear them long lashes, that it looked ridiculous, like at that length, like it's crazy. Somebody need to tell her about her situation. Yeah, so I don't even, if you have to pay for stuff or whatever, which I would not. And these are, beautiful women in all different types of beauty, and they're just out here wasting it away for what they think is entertainment and what they think is validation. But I honestly have seen enough when it comes to this. I might play a little bit more of the video.
Yeah. Like
If it's supposed to
babes
be
that were there.
helping Black women, there's no one on there that I've seen that is qualified to be helping them through whatever anger issues, emotional problems, their difficulties with reacting with things. It's just she chose for a reason. She's capitalizing on it. They're willing participants, but if she really wants to help them, I think she should put the right people in place to actually help them.
Okay, what else do you think she could have done better? She could have
not fight the people that are on the show.
Yeah, so pretty much it's I don't even follow Baddies America. So at the end of the day, this is just an example of what's going on these streets. Black women, but there's certain people that just don't want to be saved. There's certain people that don't want to be. You could do what you can do. My advice in this situation is what the Bible tells us: is train a child up in the ways that you want them to be, and when they are older, they will not depart from it. That's why Satan tries to come at the youth at a younger age, and a lot of these people were indoctrinated into sin way before they even lay down with a man. It was just a setup to put them into a situation where they can become arrogant, because a lot of people are arrogant, especially with women. When you're beautiful or whatever, you're wearing makeup to pretty your eyelids and all that stuff, you start to worship yourself. You start to look at yourself like a god type situation, and it just puts you in a bad, nutty situation of, it's hard to teach somebody who isn't humble. It's hard to teach somebody who, has, and a lot of them, they need to fall off of that pride. And when they do, instead of learning, they just become bitter, and it just becomes a cycle of degeneracy. Okay. But with all that being said, teach your daughters and your sons to walk with God, okay? To seek the Most High, to walk with God, the true uppercase G God, and his son, through his son, the Messiah, we are able to even have a chance to create this relationship in this grace period, okay? There's going to come a time when, whether you believe it or not, whatever the case is, one thing that you can say, at least that is that there's going to be a time when, depending on when Christ come back, of course, when it's the end, when it's your time to go, okay? When that time comes, there is no going back and all this stuff. Of course, you could get saved last minute, but there is no going back. There, once you either end up in a very hot place or you're in a better place or you're in a good place, and the things of this life you'll remember. Or what are you going, when you look back and flash back over your life, are you going to look back and regret, pain, sorrow, or are you going to look back and say, I've learned from something and I am not living in willful sin at the very least, and I do love my Father whom created me. Okay. But with all that being said, seek the Most High, peel open the pages of the Bible. I recommend the King James Version, and stay sober-minded on these spiritual streets. The true way to really become successful, to really break free from this matrix, to really be happy, is working for the kingdom, for his kingdom, whom he created you. He invested in you different talents, strengths that he gave to you and made you that he invested in us. He gave to us to make us who we are individually. There's no two people that are the same on this thing. Like everybody, even twins, everybody has their own situation that God had created them for. Okay, y'all. So with all that being said, God, if God loves me, he definitely loves you. Be blessed and stay sober-minded on the spiritual streets. Peace.